Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you the review for the 2018 drama horror Possum, a film that stars Sean Harris, who you will recognise primarily from the last two Mission Impossible movies. He was the baddie in those two movies, and it is directed by Matthew Holness. And this is a film that is newly released on video on demand and in selected theatres. And it's a film I've been aware of because I've seen some of the advertising, and I was talking to my brother this weekend and he says, oh, apparently it's supposed to be really good, this Possum. You want to try and watch that and review it. So I thought I'll give it a go. And after watching this film, what is this film about? Well, this film focuses on Sean Harris's character Philip, who is a very odd person, to say the least. The way he carries himself, the way he projects himself, he's all a bit off kilter and a bit odd. Strange character who is returning home to his childhood home that is in a dilapidated mess, basically. He returns home with this strange bag. He gets home, there are hints that he used to be some kind of children's puppeteer. He's disgraced. He's never really made clear as to why, what happened, and he has this very freaky puppet in this bag, and it's basically a spider with a human head. And there's news stories about an abducted child. You see him spending his days wandering about trying to get rid of this bag that's got this puppet in it that for some reason he despises and hates. He wants to get rid of it. He can't get rid of it. No matter what he does, he tries setting fire to it. He tries chucking it in rivers. You name it, but it always keeps turning up. However, this film has a fine line between reality and dream state, because he's consistently having dreams, falling asleep, and the dreams that he's having has some very freaky imagery going on in regards to this puppet that he has coming to life, and some other disturbing images. So this blurs the lines between reality, and you're never really sure what is real and what isn't in this film. Also in his childhood home is I believe it's his stepfather or his uncle, somebody, played by Alan Armstrong, who is not a very nice person. They don't seem to have a very good relationship, and he quite enjoys antagonising him to a large degree. Alan Armstrong's character Morris, and so you get these weird interactions between them and Sean Harris's character Philip, constantly wandering about in an uncomfortable state, trying to get rid of this bag with this weird puppet in it, hanging around schools, being told to get lost, police knocking on his door. Clearly he's a suspect in this abducted child, and all in the while you're watching this thinking, what's going on? Is there a supernatural element going on? What's going on with this puppet? Why is he dreaming all these things? Is he a child abuser? Is he a paedophile? What is going on? And you keep waiting for these mysteries to unfold as you watch this film, and that's kind of the story here. Now, this film is actually, I can see why critics are loving this film. I think this is one of those films that critics can endlessly analyse, dissect, and find 101 or 1001 different meanings hidden within this film. However, for me, I found it quite a frustrating film to watch. It was almost like I was this film's guinea pig, and I was being led down a puzzle to get the treat at the end. Constantly being led down these puzzles, getting lost here and there, getting confused here and there, all the way to get to the end, to get my treat, which was ultimately the reveal in the film. And the treat you're given, from my perspective, is nothing more than a crumb. I found this an incredibly frustrating film to watch. I can't honestly tell you that I liked it. I appreciate and respect it for what it is and what it's trying to be, but I didn't like it. It didn't feel like any kind of story to me. It was almost like you just kept waiting for it to get started, this film. It just felt like one long beginning and then boom, an ending. I was invested, I was interested, I wanted to know more, wanted to learn more, but it never took it to that next level to me. It just constantly kept you guessing, which in some ways is a good thing, but the ultimate reveals at the end were, I thought, a considerable letdown. From my perspective, it's described on IMDb as a drama horror thriller. Well, this is more of a psychological drama, I would say. The only horror elements in this film are more the imagery that's going on, and most of that is, generally speaking, when he's dreaming, which from my perspective I think is a lazy way to make a film, to constantly give you freaky imagery in dream states, and when the characters are asleep, which once or twice you can get away with, but it happens all the time in this film. You never really know what this film's about. Are we watching a man's mind slowly fracture? A man losing his sanity? Are we watching someone who's trying to desperately search for a missing child? Are we watching a film for a man who's trying to hide who he is and what he's done? But it does make you question reality, this film. It is almost like a puzzle, almost, in a lot of ways, and it does have some itch-inducing freaky imagery going on. I think if you're not a fan of spiders and mannequin heads, avoid it, because you're not going to like some of the imagery in this film. I think the best compliment I can give this film is the day after watching it, I'm still thinking about it and still trying to solve that puzzle and as to what it's all about, which I suppose is a good thing. However, it doesn't feel like a good thing to me because I didn't particularly enjoy the film. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 for that reason. It is very thought-provoking, and I do think it's going to be a bit like Marmite. I think you're either going to love this film or you're going to hate it, but it's undeniably quite a fascinating film. So there's my review for Possum, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please leave me some comments if you've seen the film. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Thanks for watching, everybody.